I know that Bill Pyers, who used to change money for Leicester in France, Leicester would give him a bundle of £100 notes, 10 £10 notes, and you know how they wrap the outside one round. Well, Bill only discovered after about the fourth lot he changed, but Leicester always nicked 1 tenner out of it and gave Bill 90. When Bill went to change it, he suddenly turned around and saw he won the derby on the minstrel. I think he'd been banned for 6 months for the use of the whip, but I mean nobody else would have got him home that day. He was simply the best.
And is trying my best in the lead from Sexton Blake on the far side. Tannenberg is finding no more. Running on the fourth place is Camden Town. They've got about a furlong still to go, and is trying my best being driven along by Lester Piggott. And then on the far side, Sexton Blake. Pat Edry now puts Camden Town under pressure, but they've got about 150 yards still to go. And it's Lester Piggott on Try My Best going away from Sexton Blake and Camden Town as they come out towards the waterline. Try My Best.
Corno breaks out quickly. Q8 Tower, on the other hand, and Ptolomeo are both slow, and it's Corno making the early running, followed by Lofty. On the near side with the yellow cap, that's Proclaim. Then after these, Go Writers is going stronger. Then Alverton for France. Just after the leaders, in the centre comes Dramalis, and still towards the rear of the field are Spanish Place, one of the outsiders, and last of all, at the end of the second furlong, is Ptolomeo now. They're inside the final 3/4 of a mile, and up front it's still Corno and Lofty, followed by, in third place, Proclaim, making their way now to the end of the third furlong. So with just under 5 to go, it's over to Graham Good in the grandstand.
And Goritis is going well. Willie Cast in the mid-division, Leicester towards the rear at this stage. Fourth from the right of the picture, now third from the right, that's Diasis. But they come down towards the halfway stage. The leader is Corno, joined by Lofty, with Ravinsky on the outside, Goritis just in behind these. Then Muscatite going well, Guns of Navarone, all systems go in a challenging position, Lofty as well there. Diasis, that's number 4, Leicester now switched to the outside, and as we change camera angles, that's towards the third from the right of the picture, Q8 Towers going well. They're past the bushes, 2.5 furlongs to go. Lofty has the advantage from Corno, with Goritis throwing down a determined challenge. Dias is coming with a run, Muscatite on the left, Lomond now switched with Pat Edry, but it's Goritis in the lead. Goritis the leader, from Lofty in second place, Q8 Tower, Dias is beaten, Muscatite is staying on, Lomond finishing very well indeed on the very wide outside, coming inside the final furlong, and Lomond has the advantage from Muscatite. Lomond, Muscatite, Goritis, with Ptolomeo right at the finish, but it's Lomond in the lead, from Ptolomeo coming up towards the line, Lomond, Pat Edry looking round, Lomond the winner, Ptolomeo second, Muscatite third, a photo before between Goritis and Q8 Tower, then Lofty, and behind these came Diasis, the Guns of Navarone, all systems go to Corno, and last of all, and last by a long way, was Proclaim. And so the result of this, for 2,000 guineas, is a win for number 11, Lomond, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained in Ireland by Vincent O'Brien, ridden by Pat Edry, his first triumph in a 2,000 guineas, bred by Warner L. Jones and Will S. Farish III in America. Second was number 19, Ptolomeo. Goritis was the second last to go in. They're all installed under orders and they're off, and John French a little bit slowly into his stride. But as they settle down, it's Burslem showing the lead from Electric on the inside, and Burslem now settled. A very, very slow early pace indeed, with Welsh Idol, Caerleon up on the outside, and now Caerleon going on from Welsh Idol. Coming towards the end of the first furlong, and it's Caerleon in the lead from Welsh Idol in second. Then comes Hot Touch third. These are followed by Electric in fourth place. Then Goritis is fifth, and Burslem sixth, and Prima Voce seventh. John French comes next, and the back marker is Guns of Navarone. But Pat Edry, not at all satisfied with a very, very slow early pace, is going to make this a test of stamina. He leads on Caerleon in the lead. From in second place, Welsh Idol, then comes Hot Touch. Next to the rails is Electric. Behind Electric is Prima Voce. Up on the outside of Prima Voce races Burslem. On the outer of Burslem is Goritis. John French is second from last, and last of all is Guns of Navarone. They've got 6 furlongs left to go, with Caerleon in the lead, Caerleon leading from Welsh Idol and Hot Touch, then Electric and Burslem and Goritis moving sweetly up on the outside, then Prima Voce, and the back markers are John French and still Guns of Navarone. Just over 4.5 to go, Caerleon in the lead, from in second place Welsh Idol, then Hot Touch on the outside of Electric, who's being niggled along, then Goritis on the outside of the group to the left. On the extreme left is now Guns of Navarone, just preceded by John French, and they've got 3.5 furlongs to run in the Benson Hedges Gold Cup, with Caerleon still leading. From Welsh Idol going sweetly off on the outside. Then comes Hot Touch coming with a run. Goritis trying to improve his position. John French and Lester Piggott make ground on the outside. Burstland looks cooked. They've got 2.5 furlongs to go. Caerleon in the lead from Hot Touch, Goritis, with John French cruising up on the outside. Then Welsh Idol. Then Guns of Navarone, a very wide open race with 1.5 furlongs to go. And it's Caerleon next to the rails being tackled by Hot Touch. Then comes Goritis and John French and Guns of Navarone. And it's Caerleon next to the rails sticking his neck out. But Hot Touch is challenging again inside the final furlong. It's Caerleon from Hot Touch, Goritis and John French. Guns of Navarone and electric. Caerleon just has it by a neck, by half a length, going up towards the line. But Hot Touch is fighting back, going up towards the line. Caerleon in a photo from Hot Touch, and then close for third between Goritis and John French. Then Electric and Guns of Navarone, a gap to Prima Voce Burstland, and the back marker last of all was Welsh Idol. And so it looks very much a pillar-to-post victory for number 4, Caerleon, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained in Ireland by Vincent O'Brien, ridden by Pat Enery, giving him his 82nd winner of the season. The outcome is a photograph. Also in that photograph is number 7, Hot Touch, owned by Mr. E.B. Moller, trained at Newmarket by Geoffrey Ragan, ridden by Steve Cawthon. For me, it's also a photograph for third place between John French and Goritis.
And so with Storb a fractional leader from Toagori Moo, curtling on the far side. Then comes Miswaki and Centuris, the 5 runners closely grouped up together and going well within themselves. That's the order back to Raleigh in the grandstand.
Well, they're just past halfway, and it's Stormbird for Ireland in the lead from the long-time leader Toagori Moo second. But here comes Miswaki for France just behind them. And over on the far side, belying his odds, the extreme outsider Kirtling. At the moment, last of the 5 is Centuris, the 6-to-1 shot. But now the battle really on between Pat Edry on Stormbird and the White Cup, and over on the far side, Greville Starkey on Toagori Moo. At the distance now, these two have gone clear of the rest. Miswaki in third, but he's got no chance. With the first two are locked in a desperate struggle and racing up towards the lines. Just Stormbird from Toagori Moo. The lowly down neck a little, so half a length perhaps. Stormbird's got to win it at the line. Stormbird wins the Newhouse. Toagori Moo second, and these two finish well clear of Miswaki third.
There's All at Sea going in, narrowly beaten in her last 2 races, back over today's trip of 1.25 miles, 85 yards, but they break away for the Judgmont International, and through the first furlong, Ruby Tiger, Massad racing fast, Zoman up with the pace, Al Nasser Al Washik runs a rail, Terrimon's in there. Seattle Rhyme is tucked off the pace, and so too is Rodrigo de Triano, and Koyonga normally held up in the last 3. Quite closely grouped, the pace strong as they go through the first furlong so, and it's Al Nasser Al Washik that gains the day. In the yellow jacket, the rail. Terrimon the grey on the outside, Zoman, followed through by Bob Zayo, Dr. Devious position 5, Ruby Tiger out wide in 6, All at Sea, the rail 7, Massad in 8, a break of 1.5 lengths then to the others, headed by Gussie Marlowe. Kuyonga's on the outside, Seattle Rhyme, and Leicester's put Rodrigo to sleep in the back of the field. They pass the 7 pole, and it's Al Nasser Al Washik by a length now. 2 in second place, Terriman, Bob Zayo the rail, Zerman out wide, a line of 3 for second place, then the Devious, Dr. Devious is in 5, they've passed the 6 furlong marker, and then Ruby Tiger out wide, and All at Sea and Massad, and then Kuyonga and Seattle Rhyme and Gussie Marlowe, and Leicester on Rodrigo is the trailer as they come down past the 5 pole, and it's Al Nasser Al Washik, Steve Cawthon out in front, Zoman just being niggled along, Bob Zayo rails well, Dr. Devious on the outside of Terriman, Kuyonga's having to pull wide for room and wide for a run, and they're just leaving her a little bit flat-footed as Al Nasser Al Washik on the bridle, clear by 2. Here comes All at Sea with a wet sail, Dr. Devious on the outside, off the pace, and Seattle Rhyme is getting cheekily nearer. They leave the 3 behind them, Al Nasser Al Washik, All at Sea, Dr. Devious, Seattle Rhyme back on song. Here comes Rodrigo de Triano, the blue sleeve jacket with a run, then past the 2, Al Nasser Al Washik, All at Sea, Rodrigo de Triano on the outside of Dr. Devious, then Seattle Rhyme followed by Massad and Zoman, then race down to the final furlong, and it's Rodrigo de Triano and Lester Piggott, Panettary All at Sea, the pink cap, but it's Rodrigo de Triano who lengthens and goes on, no stamina down clear, he's going to see the trip out all right, Rodrigo de Triano, All at Sea fighting back, but Rodrigo de Triano holds it from All at Sea second, and then in third, photo third, Seattle Rhyme and Dr. Devious, followed by Massad, Zerman, Al Nasser Al Washik, Ruby Tiger, who was a bit disappointed.
Sangster, congratulations. We were just saying to Peter, it's been a long year, but goodness, you come up smiling.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, I think Peter keeping the horse in training from April, a guineas winner, to run
what, in October, late October or mid-October. It was a terrific training performance with all problems, you know.
And you survived all these scares, and he says now there's a dispute on a nice, happy dispute on where you go for a Gulfstream. Is it the mile or the mile and a quarter? The turf or the dirt?
I would definitely go for the dirt, but then I've always been a believer in leaving it to the experts. If the experts say, if Lester and Peter want to go for the mile on the grass, I think they're wrong. I think that mile on the grass is going to be a hell of a hairy race. I mean, it kills Ilzal. It might kill Rodrigo. I'd go on the dirt. We've nothing to lose. We've proved ourselves the champion in Europe. Let's have a crack to beat the Yanks.
And it's more money too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this day and age, yeah, we need it. Yeah.
Congratulations, it's been a great, great year.
Thanks, bro.
Pat Hedry now driving Saros up very hard on the near side, but it's a minstrel now has the upper hand by about a length, and he's going clear by length, 1 length, 2 lengths, 3 lengths. They come up towards the line, and the minstrel going to be a very, very easy winner of this one after all. And at the line, the minstrel wins it from Saros. So they swing round now Tatnam Corner, and as they do so, it's Greville Starkey on $1 Million Man in the lead, being pursued all the way by Hot Grove, Willie Carson. Just in behind them, then comes the minstrel, then comes Caparello. After them towards the outer is Brush and Groom trying hard to get on term. So too has been my guess, but they've got about 2 furlongs still to go, and it's Hot Grove who now takes it up. Hot Grove the leader, 2 furlongs from home marker. The minstrel second, Brush and Groom is third. Then after leading 3, make it run towards the outside Monsignor. $1 Million Man now dropping back. They run now towards the final furlong. It's Willie Carson on Hot Grove. Lester Pickett on the minstrel. That's the leading 2. Brush and Groom not going to make it as they come now inside the final furlong. It's Lester Pickett on the near side and the minstrel. Hot Grove on the far side. It's between these two. It's going to be very close. The minstrel on the near side, just the winner from Hot Grove, Brush and Groom, Monsignor, Lord Door, Nebbiolo. Then comes Pamper Paul, followed in by $1 Million Man, Caparello. After those Berlinskis, I look back, the last 2 to go over include Royal Plume and finally Noble Venture. And so once again, the judgment of Lester Pickett.
You can see it on BBC Two if you're not staying with us to see the jump off in the Sweeps Derby, and they're running here. They're running with Bruckner in the lead. Raconteur going to take it off him now. Assert in 3rd place. Then comes Grateful Air, whose rider's lost his cap already. Behind them comes Silverhawk in the back mark. At the moment is Fabuloso, and Raconteur has gone to the front. Raconteur from his stable companion Assert, who's taken a very strong hold. Bruckner is in 3rd, then comes Grateful Air, and then Silverhawk with Patcher on his outside. Behind Patcher is Royal Rendezvous, then Fabuloso and Condell. And they're running down now towards the 9 furlong pole, and as they do so, it's Raconteur and Wallace Swinburne, who's on his back for the first time in his life, leading by about 4 lengths from Assert. Then on the inside comes Bruckner. On the outside of Bruckner, Silverhawk making good progress. Then comes Grateful Air. Behind Grateful Air is Patcher. The back marker is Condell with Remanded and Fabuloso, and still Raconteur taking him along as they come towards the 7th furlong pole in the Irish Sweeps Derby. It's Raconteur in the lead from Assert in 2nd. Silverhawk is next, and then comes Bruckner. Behind Bruckner is Condell. Behind Condell, Grateful Air, and then just in behind them comes Patcher. Royal Rendezvous on the inside. Racing towards the 6th furlong pole, and still Raconteur in the lead. From in 2nd place, the odds-on favourite Assert. Then comes Silverhawk for England, and then Bruckner. Then Condell towards the outside. Fabuloso is making a little bit of progress. Noble Air is getting closer to them too, but they're racing towards the home turn with just over half a mile to run, and it's Raconteur being pressed by his stable companion Assert, who's come up on his inside now. Wallace Swinburne eased out. Then Christy Roach through on the inner, and it's Assert now who struck the front with 3 furlongs to run. From Raconteur in 2nd. Then comes Silverhawk, and then Bruckner, and then Condell, and then Fabuloso. Coming down towards the 2 furlong pole. Assert has stormed well clear now at the 2 furlong pole from Raconteur and Silverhawk, and then comes Bruckner, and then Condell, and then Fabuloso. And it's Assert striding away to win this all on his own. Except that Silverhawk is now coming to try and put in a challenge, but he's past the furlong pole. Christy Roach has looked over his left shoulder. There's no conceivable danger to Assert now as he strides up towards the line. Silverhawk is going to be 2nd and Patcher 3rd, and as they come to the line, Assert wins it in a positive canter. Silverhawk is 2nd, 3rd is Patcher, 4 Fabuloso, were raconteur Lomond and Bruckner. Royal Rendezvous.
Last one into the stalls, that's it. They're under orders and they're off for the Benson and Hedges Gold Cup. Mr. Fluorocarbon going on in the very early stages of the race, and that one leads by length to Assert in second place, then Norwick is third, Amindus is fourth, and Be My Native fifth, and then Say Primula, and then Castle Keep. They've run a furlong, and it's Assert going up on the outside to make this a true test of stamina. We know he stays very well indeed. He's already won 2 derbies, going into the lead. So it's the market leaders, Assert from Mr. Fluorocarbon in second place, then comes Norwick in third, Assert, Mr. Fluorocarbon, Norwick, then Amindus is fourth, and Be My Native fifth, and Castle Keep sixth, and Say Primula back on the outside in seventh place as they continue their journey down the far side. And it's Assert in the lead from Mr. Fluorocarbon in second place, a gap then of a couple of lengths to Norwick in third, Amindus is fourth, and Be My Native fifth. 6.5 furlongs to go in the Benson and Hedges, and it's Assert that leads from Mr. Fluorocarbon in second place. Norwick is third, Amindus 4, Be My Native 5, Castle Keep is in sixth place, and Say Primula up on the outside is seventh. Just over 5.5 furlongs to go, so they're getting to the halfway stage. Assert, dual derby winner, in the lead. Seems to have settled the pace down just a fraction from Mr. Fluorocarbon in second place. Then close on the heels of the leaders come Norwick in third, just being chased along that one, as Amindus goes into third place on the outside of Norwick. As they make the turn into the home straight, Assert in the lead from Mr. Fluorocarbon. Then Amindus, Say Primula towards the left of the picture, Castle Keep going well in behind them. Be My Native is just struggling. 3.5 furlongs to go. Assert, Mr. Fluorocarbon, Amindus, Norwick, Castle Keep, Say Primula, and Be My Native. Just over 3 to go, and Assert in the lead, lengthening his stride from Mr. Fluorocarbon. Lester Pickett in second place. Panettary in the lead, 2.5 to go in the Benson and Hedges, coming ahead, just looks over his shoulder there. There's no danger at this stage, just over 2 to go. Assert in the lead from Mr. Fluorocarbon, going for all his worth. Amindus making up ground, Castle Keep under strong driving on the left of the picture, just over a furlong to go. Assert in the lead from Norwick in second place. Then comes Mr. Fluorocarbon, who's beaten. Then Amindus inside the final furlong. Assert in the lead from Norwick, Amindus, Castle Keep and Mr. Fluorocarbon. Assert drawing right away from these. Going to win this very, very handsomely indeed. Assert, a very impressive winner. Assert is the winner. Norwick is second, Amindus third, a photo over 4 between Mr. Fluorocarbon and Castle Keep, then Be My Native. And trailing them came Say Primula, and so the result of this, the 11th running of the Benson and Hedges Gold Cup. And you can see there, Assert so full of himself, tossing his head all over the place, giving Panettary 1 or 2 anxious moments, having passed the post, but none at all whatsoever in the race. He's turned out to be the winner. Number 4, Assert, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained in Ireland by David O'Brien, his first Group 1 winner in this country, bred by the Moyglaire Stud Farm Limited in Ireland, and ridden by Panettary, number 64, and by far the most important winner in this country for Panettary. Second was number 7, Norwick, ridden by Greville Starkey. Third was number 1, Amindus, ridden by Jeff Baxter. That's the 1, 2, 3 in this, the 11th running of the Benson and Hedges Gold Cup. What a very, very impressive piece of race riding, and a very, very impressive piece of electrifying acceleration that this fellow showed.
Racing down now towards the 3 furlong marker, and as they do so, on the far side, Proceda, Sadler's Wells and Secreto, and towards the outside, Fiery Celt. In behind these is Roussillon as they race towards the last 2 furlongs. And on the far side, Proceda with Sadler's Wells, Secreto moving up to challenge. Out on the near side is Fiery Celt, and they're followed by Roussillon and Capture Him, and Hegemony, Tom Ryland and Seafaring. They're inside the last 2 furlongs, Sadler's Wells, Secreto, and over on the far side is the French horse Proceda coming on the near side, Roussillon with Fiery Celt, but it's Sadler's Wells in the lead as they race inside the final furlong. Sadler's Wells, Proceda and Secreto as they race towards the finish. Sadler's Wells with Proceda on the inside and going to the line. It's Sadler's Wells from Proceda.
First Sadler's Wells, second Proceda, and third Secreto.
We expect Society Boy with a black cap to go into the lead, being driven into the lead by Philip Waldron, and Society Boy goes on. Society Boy from Wassel and Sadler's Wells, and then comes Crystal Glitters and Morcon, Ptolomeo, Time Charter, Cormorant Wood and Miramar Reef, the back marker. Society Boy by 3 lengths to Wassel in second by a length, then to Sadler's Wells third, Morcon is 4, Crystal Glitters 5, Ptolomeo 6, Time Charter 7, behind Time Charter comes Cormorant Wood and the back marker is Miramar Reef. Society Boy making a doing a brilliant pace-making job. 5 clear now from Wassell in second, then Sadler's Wells and Walcott on the inner, and then Crystal Glitters and Ptolomeo, then Time Charter on the inside, tracked by Cormorant Wood and Miramar Reef. Society Boy still leads. His leading margin foreshortened by our head on camera, leads. You can see just how far he is clear. Wassell is second, then Sadler's Wells third, followed then in 4th place by Morcon. Behind Morcon races Ptolomeo and Crystal Glitters. Time Charter on the inside, may not get the closed of runs, but I'm sure Joe knows what he's doing. Then comes Cormorant Wood, and the back marker is Miramar Reef. It's Society Boy who's a long way clear, past halfway in the Coral-eclipse, lining up for home. Crystal Glitters running a bit wide, so too is Cormorant Wood, but it's Society Boy still clear from in second place Wassell. Then comes Sadler's Wells, the 3-year-old, followed by Crystal Glitters, Morcon, Willie Carson pumping away, and behind them, travelling sweetly is Time Charter as we close in on the chasing group. It's with 2 to go. It's still Society Boy clear, though. Society Boy clear from Sadler's Wells and Crystal Glitters and Wassell and Morcon, and Time Charter and Cormorant Wood and Ptolomeo and Miramar Reef. A furlong and a half to go. Society Boy from Sadler's Wells. Here on the outside comes Crystal Glitters. Time Charter coming with a run through on the inside. Sadler's Wells strikes the front inside the final furlong. Here comes Time Charter in second place. Sadler's Wells, Time Charter, Morgan, Crystal Glitters and Miramar Reef. Up towards the line, it's Sadler's Wells holding off the strong late finish of Time Charter. Sadler's Wells, Time Charter, Morcon. Then came Crystal Glitters, Miramar Reef, and behind these Cormorant Wood, Ptolomeo, Wassell.
Golden Fleece is now going into the stalls, so this is a really vital moment. Will he go in without hesitation? Here's the favourite. I believe all's going to be well. Right, he's in. Over to you, Graham Good.
So there's just one more to go into the stalls. So this is the 200th Derby, and that one is Palace Gold. The one nearest to us is Florida Sun. On the far side of him, Fitzwarren. But that's it, they're under orders and they're away. Palace Gold a little bit slowly into its stride, and it's Reef Clay that leads in the very early stages from Wong Choi up on the outside. With the leaders too is Kampalan. Then on the inside is Florida Sun. They begin the stiff uphill climb, and it's Florida Sun going on from Reef Glade and Lobkowitz, then Kampalan, then Wong Choi. At this stage, Eastern Martin and Persepolis are last. Padedary and Golden Fleece are last with 2 or 3. They continue their journey up the stiff climb on the far side of the track, with Florida Sun in the lead. From Lobkowitz in second place, then comes Norwick in third. Then just on the outside of these is Touching Wood. Then behind Touching Wood up on the outside comes Wong Choi, and behind Wong Choi, Reef Glade. Then up on the inside of Reef Glade, Jalmood, then Fitzwarren, then Kampalan up on the outside. They're at the top of the hill now, a mile left to race in the Derby, and it's Florida Sun in the lead. Florida Sun the leader from Reef Glade up on the outside of Lobkowitz, and then up on the inside comes Norwick, and behind these comes Touching Wood, then Wong Choi up on the outside. They begin the turn at the top of the hill with just 7 furlongs left to race. Florida Sun in the lead. From in second place Lobkowitz, then Norwick on the inside. Then up on the outside is Reef Glade. Come to the halfway stage in the Derby. Florida Sun on the rails in the lead. From up on the outside, Reef Glade. Then comes Lobkowitz. Norwick going well for Greville Starkey. Then Touching Wood. Golden Fleece is towards the rear at this stage. So too is Persepolis. Jalmood has plenty to do. Super Sunrise is under pressure, but Golden Fleece is going well on the rails. They've got 4.5 furlongs left to go, and it's Florida Sun in the lead. Reef Glade comes under pressure. Norwick's in third place. They begin the descent to Tattenham Corner. Florida Sun with Peacetime and Joe Mercer making up ground on the outside, and as they turn into the home straight, it's Florida Sun, Peacetime up on the outside, then Father Rudy coming up on the very wide outside. Persepolis is making up ground. Pat Henry is switched to the outside on Golden Fleece, and that one's making up ground. So too is Super Sunrise. Palace Gold coming with a run, but they've got 2.5 furlongs left to race, and it's Norwick in the lead from Peacetime and Touching Wood. Here comes Golden Fleece in 4th place and making up a lot of ground upon the outside, going very well for Padadiri. And with a furlong and a half to go, it's Norwick on the rails, Golden Fleece upon the outside, and Golden Fleece and Padadiri Storm showing to the lead. A 6th Derby victory in prospect here for Vincent O'Brien as they come inside the final furlong. Golden Fleece, Touching Wood, Norwick from Persepolis, who's finishing fast, but as they come up toward the line, Golden Fleece from Touching Wood, a Silverhawk from Persepolis, and at the line, Golden Fleece the winner, Touching Wood is second, then came Silverhawk, then Persepolis, then Norwick, then Palace, Golden Fleece, Time and Rockamador, then Kampal and Tibbles, and Father Rudy, Super Sunrise, then Fitzpatrick and Lobkowitz and John Mood, a very big disappointment, then Wong Choi, Reef Glade, and towards the rear was Florida Sun. And so the result of this, the 203rd Derby, is the win for number 5, Golden Fleece, owned by Mr. Robert Sangster, trained by Vincent O'Brien, ridden by Pat Edery. What a marvellous triumph for Pat this. Always going well up on the outside. Second was number 19, Touching Wood and Paul Cook. And officially, it's a photograph for third place between Silverhawk and Persepolis. Well, there is Pat Edery on the 203rd winner of the Derby Stakes. This is Pat's second victory in the Derby. He won, of course, on Grundy, but no horse could give him more pleasure than Golden Fleece, who maintains his unbeaten record, getting a handshake there from Brian Rouse, getting a handshake from Paul Cook and cantering back. As Leofan goes for home, here comes El Gran Senor coming through on the inside of Native Charmer. Cragen Score, Leicester on the outside on Keane coming with a run. Chief Singer is trying to come with a run, but it's Leofan from El Gran Senor. Rainbow Quest, Keane on the very wide outside. Chief Singer going very easily indeed, coming through next to the rails. The 4-horse race is developing into a 5-horse race as Leofan is joined on the rails by Chief Singer on the outside by El Gran Senor. Keane is beaten, Rainbow Quest is beaten, they've got a furlong to go. It's El Gran Senor and Chief Singer. The race developing into a match between these two. El Gran Senor from Chief Singer. El Gran Senor lengthening his stride, coming away from Chief Singer. El Gran Senor's going to win it. El Gran Senor clear at the line. El Gran Senor is the winner. Chief Singer is second. Leofan third. Rainbow Quest 4. Keane 5. Bountiful 6. Cragen Call 7. King's Island 8th. Last is Native Charmer. And so Pat Edery has had time in the final.
El Gran Senor. And finally, it'll be Rainbow Quest. And all 8 installed for the 1984 Joe McGrath Irish Sweeps Derby, under orders and away. And Dahar on the inside is one of the first to show, but Tellius taking it up from him now. Tellius going on from Long Pond and Dahar and Rainbow Quest. Then comes March Song, then El Gran Senor, then Inflation Beater, and Nino Valador is the back marker. So Tellios taking him along, as his half-brother did back in 1980, from Long Pond on his outside. Then comes Rainbow Quest, who's taken quite a strong hold. Dahar for France is 4th. Then comes El Gran Senor, March Song, Inflation Beater, and finally Nino Valador. And still, Jeff Baxter, his first ride in the Irish Sweeps Derby, leading on Tellius from Long Pond. Walter Swinburne, who's never been beaten. His only other ride was Sharif Dancer. In third is Rainbow Quest and Steve Cawthon. Then comes Dahar for France, and then El Gran Senor. Then quite a gap to March Song, followed by Inflation Beater and Nino Valador, finding this pace altogether too hot. 7 furlongs to run now at the Curragh, and it's still Tellios in the lead from Long Pond and Rainbow Quest and Dahar and El Gran Senor in 5th. Then March Song, Inflation Beater and Nino Valador racing towards the 5 furlong marker now. Still Tellios from Long Pond. These 2 for England, from Rainbow Quest for England 2. Then Dahar for France in 4th. Then El Gran Senor with quite a little bit to do at the moment, and Pat Edery is sitting very confidently on him, though behind him comes March Song, Inflation Beater, and then Nino Valador. And it's still Tellius from Long Pond, but little between the 2. Then comes Rainbow Quest, Dahar, and El Gran Senor. It's been virtually the same order throughout as they pass the half-mile pole and make towards the home stretch now. Tellius on the inside of Long Pond, Rainbow Quest going well, then Dahar, then tucked in behind them El Gran Senor. Under 3 furlongs to run in the Sweeps Derby. Tellius from Long Pond, Rainbow Quest, Dahar, then comes El Gran Senor. And Rainbow Quest is going on now at the 2 furlong marker. Steve has gone for home, but El Gran Senor is breathing down his neck. It's Rainbow Quest from El Gran Senor, then comes Tellius. Coming to the furlong pole, Rainbow Quest from El Gran Senor. El Gran Senor being kicked on now by Pat Edery. It's El Gran Senor from Rainbow Quest as they race up towards the line. El Gran Senor asserts his superiority. He wins it in tremendous style. Rainbow Quest is second, Dahar is third. 4 was March Song. 5, 6, 7 and 8 were Inflation Beater, Tellius, Long Pond and Nino Valador. And so the result of the 1984 Joe McGrath Irish Sweeps Derby. First, number 2, El Gran Senor, owned by Robert Sangster, trained by Vincent O'Brien and ridden by Pat Edery. Second, was number 7, Rainbow Quest, owned by Caleb Abdallah, trained by Jeremy Tree and ridden by Steve Cawthon. And third was number 1, Daha, owned by Bruce McNall, trained by Maurice Zilber and ridden by Alain Lecoeur.
Lester Piggott, this is quite a day, isn't it?
Yeah, terrific. Everybody's here, and it should be a great race.
Now we're going to just show you first, before we have a chat, about your 3 ARC wins. Just enjoy this for a moment.
Rango, Lester Piggott from Alex he's done order. Rango, holding. Alex Ross is away towards the line. Rango's going to win the Arc of Triomphe for England, but coming up to the line. Rango's the winner of the Arc of Triomphe. Alex Ross is second. And it's a ledge being pressed by Balmerino. The ledge on the far side, Balmerino and Hutchinson comes down, starting with an losing a great run, but the ledge is going to hold him at the line. The ledge brings it from Balmerino. It's a photo for third. The ledge looks as though he's going to win it. The ledge coming to the line now from Chilean in second, and the ledge is holding Chilean as they come to the line. The ledge brings it from Chilean, a dancing main third.
Cool. Remember those?
Yeah, they were great days.
Now that last one we saw, that was 1977. 1978?
That's right, yeah.
And that was very soft ground, wasn't it? How difficult is this race in these very heavy conditions?
Yeah, I think that was the last time it was as heavy as this, and you know, it was very slow ground that day, you know, like it is today. But they get through it here, you know. It doesn't stop them. They're just going a bit slower, you know.
Now, Willie here, that they were great.
Tell us about Nijinsky and Park Top. Never mind about all that. It's about the real discussion.
Yeah.
What about Park Top? What happened?
That's not fair.
Come on, what happened, Park Top?
I rode a great race.
You rode a great race and got beat.
Got great, yeah.
And Nijinsky?
Everybody thought I made a balls of it.
No, steady on the BBC. And what about Nijinsky, the great Nijinsky?
Yeah, well, you know, it was unfortunate. Just at the end.
You'd not...
Just, you know, just didn't go through with it at the end, you know.
Yeah, you're not going to see Yves and Matan outrode you.
Not quite, no.
No.
Purely a financial decision. It was a very hard decision. I love the place, but as the owner of Mountain, it cost me $13,000 a year to keep a horse in training there. And it cost friends like Bill Gradley and Sir Ernest Harrison, Sheikh Mohammed, you name it, Sheikh Abdullah, it cost them $10,000 a year. So it was purely economic. I mean, if I'm paying $13,000 to pay to keep a horse in training, it's really rather stupid to own the place.
You say it's a financial decision to sell. Were the rewards on the racecourse not obtainable, do you think?
Good question. We didn't come up with any Group 1 winners. No, good question. That was not considered, though. I mean, I'll still hopefully be able to keep horses at Mountain in the next 10 years. It was just a capital sum that was outlaid there that if, say, one got it on deposit, one would be earning enough to keep the horses in training for, you know, for the next 20 years without having to keep shelling out from the financial trust.
Racing in England has taken a different shape in the last half dozen years, one might say, with the Arab involvement. How significant is the Arab involvement in you curtailing your racing interests?
I haven't curtailed, so I don't agree. It just makes it harder to win races, but I'm a very competitive man, and I'm all for competition. There's no question that I read in the Evening Standard and one or two papers that I was capitulating. No, I'll keep more horses in training and try and win more races. No, it's definitely not a question of the competition. The competition I love, you know. I mean, I'd like to still keep on battling. And I will do.
Robert Sangster has sold 4 of his smart 2-year-olds to Sheikh Mohammed in a deal reported to be worth £2.8 million. State performer Shepton Mallet, Escarpment and Ballantyne, prominent in next year's 1,000 guineas betting, will now be sent to be trained in Dubai, at least for the winter, but it's been stressed that the quartet could return to Britain in the spring. Despite the defeats of Colonel Collins and Turtle Island at Newmarket, Mr Sangster has a tremendous depth of juvenile talent this year, and the Isle of Man-based owner has always been prepared to sell horses at the right price.